So I didn't realize it, but I already executed 3 day trades per the 5 day rolling period. So if I make another trade today, I'll be flagged for pattern day trading and they'll flag my account again, similar to like what happened in the last episode. So definitely check out episode 5 where I kind of break all that down. But I am kind of stuck here, so I can't make another day trade till Thursday, but I can make a swing trade. So really what I'm going to do today is just scour through my watch list and see if I find anything that, offers a good opportunity for a swing trade. But I'm probably going to take a small position just because if I can't take a day trade or if I can't exit out immediately, don't want to take a risky trade that I can't close today because then I'll be flagged. So it's going to be just a small position. We'll see what we'll find. And then, on Thursday, that's when I'll continue day trading. So currently we just got a few shares of NEO, specifically 5 shares. And this is just going to be a small swing trade. I didn't put too much where if NEO goes down, then, I'm just lost out of money. I put enough where, look, NEO's going down, but I put enough where if NEO goes down, I could pretty much just average down and, still make a profit, right? So that's why, I didn't put the entire amount for this account, which of course this is a small account challenge. I put a very small amount in NEO, specifically 5 shares. So we'll see where this goes. If we're looking at it from a technical aspect, if we could just kind of zoom out, from the 1 hour chart, we are bouncing off a support area. So that's something that's really good. But again, if NEO does go down, that's fine because I'll just go ahead and average down my position. And then I'll exit it on Thursday, by Thursday, so that I could continue making some good day trades. But again, this is just a small little position just to, hold it down. So the day is here. We made our trades. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. Now, there were a few losses that I took, which honestly, I'm not too mad about. There are going to be losses when it comes to trading. In fact, I'm actually glad that these losses happened. Not because I want losses, obviously, but simply just because these are the first losses I've really had on this small account challenge since I've started it. Pretty much the first loss. I made the money back. You're going to see it in this video, but I'm going to break down the thought process on what happened when I took these losses, what led to these losses. So I'm glad that these losses happened because now you guys get to see, how I react to losses. And hopefully this helps you, fine tune how you manage your losses. So with that being said, we're going to actually hop into the computer screen so I could just show you exactly what's on the screen and break that down. Okay, so we're on my screen. We're going to show you all the trades I made, every single place I bought, all the places I sold, how I was able to turn a loss into a profit. Now let's go ahead and go take a look. We see that, let me just close this tab real quick. I had an overall profit of $51.30 for the day on NEO. Now you see that I still have an open position for $3 in the profit. That's because I still have some shares open in NEO where we'll go and talk about that. Then we also see that I have open position in SRRK, so we'll talk about that as well. And we'll start off from the beginning. So for the day, for a profit of $49.44, even though I had an L, I basically recovered. So let's explain everything that went down. So earlier in the video, you saw a clip where I bought 5 shares of NEO at $39.68. And then I averaged up and I bought 1 share at $39.99. Cool. I'm averaging up. NEO's going up. This was intended to be a swing trade. The reason I made this trade again was because I had no day trades left. So I wanted to make a small swing trade where if NEO goes up, I could at least make a profit while I'm waiting for my day trades to pretty much allow me to make my day trades, right? Because again, I'm under the PDT rule because this account is less than 25,000. So that's why I did these minimal swing trades. Why not make money while I can't trade day trades with swing trades, right? So hopefully that's not too complicated. Let's carry on, right? Now it's a minimal trade and I prepared for a downtrend. I'll average down. Guess what? NEO the next day sells off heavily. So I'll buy 3 shares at $37.74, right? Then NEO the next day has a nice run up. I buy 1 more share of $38.47 for NEO. So at a total, we have 10 shares for NEO. So at this point, I'm up, right? Now, then the next day, NEO is selling off, right? Now, NEO, I sold all shares, right? I just took an L. I think it was an L of $18 of a loss, and I sold it. Now, the reason I sold it was because I had my day trades left, and I knew I could make it back. That was just a small little swing trade that I was trying to do to just make money while I was waiting, and it just didn't work out. I guarantee if I would have held Neo a little longer, it would have ended up being a decent trade because we could see that Neo is looking like it's gonna have a bounce over here. But I didn't want to wait because this was such a small trade that just to me, I'd rather take the $18 L and then get straight to my day trades now that I have my day trades available, right? So before I made this trade, let's go into the option trades, right? So we could see if we go to the screen over here, I bought $37 or 37 strike price puts for Neo, right? For the, 9th of April, 2021. So if we go ahead and plug that in, we could see where I made my trade. Now this was such a small trade. We see that I bought 3 puts at 24 cents, then another put at 33 cents, right? And then I sold at I think it was 28 cents for. Now obviously 28 is less than 33, but when you average these together, it still makes a profit, right? So I made a small profit of like $6 on Neo on this put option that I traded. Well, I'm still in the losing because I lost $18. I made $6, right? So then I go into this, and these are numbers. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but I do remember the shares are $18 of a loss, and this might have been like a $6 profit. So then I also see that Neo is gonna bounce up on the chart. So let's go ahead and go just back to Neo. I see that it's looking like it's gonna make an uptrend, right? Now I end up getting calls, 37.5 strike price calls for Neo for 9th of April. So let's go ahead and just go to the option chain and let's go ahead and copy that. So I believe it was these. So we're going to go ahead and copy this, go to the charts, paste that. Okay, there we go. So we can see it right here. Again, a small trade. I bought 10 contracts at 35 cents and I sold over here. So such a small little move up. Although it was like 30%, it's still a small move, right? And it allowed me to go from being in a negative for Neo to now being in a positive, where for the day, I ended up still making a profit of $53, right? Off of that one trade. But then, when you add everything together, it came out to me only making a profit of $44, right? Then of course we also have another trade with SRRK. This was again another swing trade. Didn't work out in my favor, so I'm probably gonna cut my losses very soon. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Now imagine this was a small trade in Neo. Imagine if I caught this run up over here. That would have been 200%. That would have been amazing, right? I'm trying to catch one of those plays on this channel, but maybe it won't come, maybe it will, right? But let's go ahead and go to SRRK. And this was just another swing trade that I was doing that I'm probably going to have to cut my losses. But again, it was such a minimal trade where I'm only down $6 that it really doesn't matter for me to cut my losses. Once I have more day trades available, I'll just cut this and I'll just make my trades. The reason I made this, obviously, when we were looking at the 15-minute chart, just looks terrible. Why would you buy one share over here? But the thought process was, again, on a 4-hour chart, it looked like it was going to bounce off the linear regression channel. So that was the reason. I might actually just hold on to this until it starts showing signs of an uptrend, just because it's so minimal that I don't really care that right now it has a paper loss to $6 because I still haven't sold, so it's just a paper loss. So this might bounce up, I might average up. But in the meantime, I'm probably going to do some more option trades. Now, I'm not going to end this video here simply because I think this was just too small of a trade to just put in one episode, $49 for the day. So I'm going to try to do another trade and piece it together for this clip so that it's just a larger, just more content on one video. I don't want to make this like a 1,000 different episodes. So you'll see the next part and what went on. All right, so a couple days passed. We had some more trades to talk about. We had some really good trades. And unfortunately, we also had some bad trades. And, this whole journey, I'm documenting all of it. I just wouldn't be real if I was just to, talk about or show you the good trades and, eliminate the bad trades. You guys saw this episode. In the beginning, I had a small little bad trade. Then, I made it back up. And it's kind of similar for the second part of this episode. I know I kind of put two things together, but I just felt like that one trade was not enough. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So the other day, I traded ticker symbol REGN, and I had nearly a 200% gain on that trade. It was a trade I took in 5 minutes. Right now, I've been talking about how on this challenge, I can't wait to hit like a nice home run trade. Not saying that, I'm just YOLOing or anything. I'm just saying that, a nice solid trade. And it hasn't happened yet in the challenge until now, where I had this, trade. I'm going to show the screenshot up here. Now, I would show you guys exactly where I bought in and where I got out. But the thing was, I was trading options and those options already expired. So it's not like I could really go back on the options chain to show you. So I wish I just should have recorded it that same day, but whatever, right? But it was a nice trade. I think it was like around $260. I have the screenshot right here, but you guys will see it. It's whatever. Great. So I had a really good trade, and I was really happy with that trade, right? Because it wasn't like I just put money in something like Dogecoin and, that 100 turned into 1,000. That could happen, and that's great when that does happen. But me doing this challenge of turning 100 to 1,000, it's not any luck. It's all skill. Right? It's just to show you that, okay, yeah, some people do make great money putting money into like a play like that, like Dogecoin, and they emerge out with, a nice solid percentage. I'm doing this from scratch with skill, right? So that was a great trade. I'm really happy about that trade. It brought the account up to like 700. And pretty much at that point with 700, I just need one more trade, maybe two, but really just one more trade to turn this into 1,000 and complete the challenge. But then today happened, right? And I could show today's trade. So I took a trade on NEO, and I had a lot of rookie mistakes. I even wrote down in my notes the 3 reasons why this trade didn't go bad, right? You guys probably cannot see this on my phone, but this says April 20th, bad trade. That's the title. It says, I woke up and went straight to trading, didn't even fully wake up. Why would someone who's not even fully alert go to trading? That was just rookie mistake number 1. Number 2 is I kept looking for a good trade setup and I didn't find one, but I forced the trade to happen. Meaning like there was nothing looking good and I forced a trade. I was like, I'll just take this trade. That's trading like a crackhead, I kind of say, right? Because why would you take a position if you don't see value in it, right? So that's trade number, that's mistake number 2. And then the third thing that happened was I didn't cut losses as early as I should have. Because I was really disappointed in the results of wasting my day trade for today on a bad trade. So instead of cutting losses and reducing the risk, I literally held on a little longer, hoping that it will come back up, and I lost a little bit more. Now this trade, I lost like 40% of what I went into it. So it was a trade that was around like I lost $100. So I'm still up for basically this whole episode where I had a small bad trade, then I made it up with a good trade, then I had a really good trade, and then I had a kind of medium bad trade. So I'm still up overall. I think the count is at 600. We're gonna go ahead and dive into the computer so we could also just take a look at where I entered and where I exited for this trade. Because for this trade it was options, but at least the options haven't expired on the options chain. So I could literally show you the mistake for this one. I really wish I recorded the day for the REGN. By the way, that was, I don't know if I mentioned it, but that was a trade that I took based off my last video where I talked about some great trades to take. And, I made a video talking about, like some stocks that are going to explode. So I took my advice and I made a good profit on that. Awesome. I had a nice ascending triangle pattern. But this trade that I'm going to show you, lots of rookie mistakes. That's why I wrote it down in my notes, because I have to embed this to not do this again, right? I had to embed it in my brain. But let's go ahead and stop talking. Let's go ahead and check out on the computer. So we're going to break down this trade that I had for NEO that was just ridiculous. It was honestly one of the worst trades I ever had, not because of how much I lost, but simply just because it made no sense. And that's why I really, beating myself up about it. That's why I wrote it in the notes, to just keep it as a reminder. So we see that, NEO was going up this morning, right? So it was at this point where I decided to buy call options, which is ridiculous, right? Because it didn't meet my criteria, right? Now, my criteria, if you guys know, I like to buy things when they're bouncing off of support, like something like the linear regression channel, maybe something breaking out of a pattern. There was no reason to buy up here. There was, I was like, oh, okay, I'll use this as a momentum trade. That's not part of my criteria. So it made no sense for me to buy into this trade. Now, let me show you the worst part about this. So these were the options that I traded, right? So this is the strike price was a $38.50 call. And you could see that I took this trade at this big candle. It was literally at the top of the candle. I got 4 contracts at 80 cents. and then I closed like 4 contracts at 46 cents. So you could already see that, from here to here, that's almost a 40% loss, right? It almost could have been a 50% loss for this position. Luckily, I went into this with a small position size, but it's still 40%. No, it's still like a big loss. So, you know, I wrote it down in my notes. Next time, or for all my other trades, it's really about discipline, making sure I only trade when, first of all, I'm fully alert. I'm not just rolling out of bed, right? Making sure I only trade when there's a trade meeting my criteria. And if the trade goes against me, cutting my losses, right? So let's also break that down. So I drew this trend line, right? And I drew it just based off here. And actually, I was looking at the 5-minute chart when I drew this trend line, I believe. But it was around here. I drew this trend line, right? So I drew it like this. So that's how I got the trend line, the bottom here, the top here. So let's just go back to the 1-minute chart. So I drew that trend line. I said, okay, this was a bad trade. First of all, I should have just gotten out like around here, but I drew a trend line. I was giving myself even more room to lose. And I said, okay, if it breaks this trend line, I'll get out. And then guess what? It broke the trend line and I didn't get out, right? And then I started getting up and I saw more hope. I was like, oh, okay, we're going to be bouncing up, honestly, when it comes to options, you don't want to waste more time, because the longer that you're wrong, the more you're gonna lose. Or even if it starts coming up, it's just because of the time decay that it's just gonna be eating away at the contract. So going back to that option trade, you could see, it just kept going down. Luckily, at this point, not even luckily, but thank God I got out, because we could see that I even went further below to almost a low of 26 cents, which from 80 cents to 26 cents, that's like almost a 70% loss. But, again, this was a really bad trade. Now, if I go to see where I'm at, I can't really see it. I think it's showing that my buying power is only 400, but that's because I have, I still have those shares in NEO. I think it's like 5 shares that I'm still holding. But overall, I think the portfolio, I'll try to see if I could get a screenshot, is at around 6 something. So we went from being at 700 something, being close to this, being done with the challenge, back down to 6. Overall, we're still up, but it's still, further down because of this rookie mistake trade. So again, I'm really glad though that I got to show you guys this losing trade, because sometimes I feel like if I just, all the other episodes, I just kept winning, I just kept making money, and it almost seemed unrealistic. And I don't want to give you guys this idea that it's just always perfect. So in reality, I'm not proud of these rookie mistakes, but I'm glad that you guys are on this journey watching these rookies mistakes, because you guys get to learn from it. So what did we learn today? Most importantly, when you don't see any trade setups that look favorable or meet your criteria, stay cash, right? Don't deploy your cash into a trade unless it looks like a good trade, because you're going to lose more money, right? So it's better to just not even make money, not even lose money, and just hold your cash than just throwing it into this battlefield and losing, knowing that it's not even, in your advantage, right? You only deploy your money, you deploy your soldiers when you know you're going to win the battle. This was just a ridiculous trade. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys still enjoyed this journey. We'll see. I'm still close to the $1,000. Should have been there by now, but hey, I'm not going to beat myself up with it. There was a lot of difficulties, a lot of obstacles with this. But with that being said, make sure to hit that like button. I'm getting a call. Someone's at the gate, so I'm going to let them in so that they could visit me. I think someone's bringing me food. But anyways, guys, have a great one. Take care. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you on the next episode.